Breaking news, our entire viewing area is now under a hurricane warning.
The new track for Hurricane Matthew is now out. Our storm team is here to explain that track and what you can still do tomorrow. We're
simulcasting right now on Fox 29 and streaming on WPTV.com. And we begin with Storm Team 5 Chief Meteorologist Steve Weigel.
Yes, that watch upgraded to a hurricane warning. That means hurricane conditions can be expected within 36 hours. Starting Thursday into the afternoon and evening, the winds will pick up dramatically. Here's a look at the storm tonight. It's weakened just a little. A lot of interaction with the coastline and the mountains of eastern Cuba. Winds down to 130 miles an hour. Unfortunately, that appears to be a short-term trend, not long-term. So we take this storm up through the Bahamas on Wednesday. There is the 8 p.m. position, 130-mile-an-hour winds, getting very near Andros, Category 4, 130. This is Thursday, 8 a.m. Then we get into the error cone, and one of the closest approaches to Palm Beach County, Thursday, 8 p.m., Category 4 hurricane, about 65 miles off the coastline, right at the very tip, western tip of Grand Bahama, West End, and then moving very, very close to the Treasure Coast, paralleling the coastline. This is Thursday around midnight, early Friday morning. Some very, very strong winds expected, and then it moves up the coast after that, paralleling the coast all the way up into Cape Hatteras, and then off the coastline after that. Now, we're still in the error cone, which means we could see a track more toward the west again. We've seen 2 days now with each track shifting closer and closer to the Florida coastline, and the computer models tonight again shifting some into South Florida for a landfall, some of the others just shifting a little farther west. It makes a big difference with this storm because it brings us closer to the hurricane force wind field and stronger tropical storm force winds, which are almost guaranteed at this point. So here's a look at what we're looking at as far as the potential for tropical storm force winds. And these numbers will bump up as we get into the overnight hours, but they're almost 80% now. So this is winds 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. This is Thursday and into Friday. Hurricane force winds, about a 1 in 4 chance. The numbers are starting to bump up for Palm Beach County, almost 30% now, a little bit less for the Treasure Coast. These will rise, though. Because of the track of this storm and because it's coming in at an angle, the core, the eye, is closer to the Treasure Coast than it is to Palm Beach County. So the higher values on the Treasure Coast are expected heading into Wednesday. All right, as far as the watches and warnings, the hurricane watch was upgraded to a hurricane warning from Sebastian down in toward Lauderdale, and also a hurricane warning now for Lake Okeechobee, and also off in toward Grand Bahama and the northern Bahamas. Here's a look at the timing for the wind field. Tropical storm force winds in yellow here, not quite at our doorstep, 9 a.m. Thursday, but by noon they are. There's 11 a.m. just arriving to the beaches in Palm Beach County. 40 and 50 mile an hour winds, 60 eventually by the mid and late afternoon. And then we get into this core of stronger winds, 60 to 70, maybe even 80 mile an hour winds coming along the coastline Thursday night. There's midnight Thursday into early Friday. Those winds track north. We're still left with gusty northwest winds on Friday, beginning to improve heading into Friday late afternoon and into Friday evening. So this is a situation that we're going to have to keep a very close eye on. And James Wieland is here breaking down the local effects, the timeline for the next few days.
Here's what we can expect here. Starting tomorrow, you still have time to make those final preparations tomorrow because the weather doesn't go downhill really till tomorrow night and through Thursday. So tomorrow, what you can expect, some sunshine in the morning, the wind light in the morning, then increasing to about 25, maybe even 30 by the end of the day, maybe after dinner time. Isolated rain late. Maybe 1 to 2 inches with a quick downpour, or if a little squall line comes on in. Slight tornado threat. We start to get some of that spin out there, so there will be a slight tornado threat tomorrow. Thursday, we'll break it down into the morning and into the evening. So in the morning, 30 to 60 miles per hour and then increasing throughout the day. Rain, locally we could see 1 to 3 inches, and then that slight tornado threat. Then the bulk of the storm comes through. We're looking at Thursday afternoon through the overnight hours, depending on where you are. Of course, sooner in the Palm Beaches, later for the Treasure Coast. We'll see those winds peaking out of the north, 60 to 70 miles per hour. Treasure Coast, we'll see that bumped up a lot more to possibly 80+ mile per hour wind gusts, an additional 2 to 4 inches in the moderate tornado threat. Finally, by Friday, early will be bad, especially the Treasure Coast could see hurricane force wind gusts there. Then it will slowly improve throughout the day, and by Friday night, we will finally start to clear on out, look a lot better for the weekend.
James and Steve, thank you. Remember, if the power goes out during this storm, we will still be on the air keeping you informed about Hurricane Matthew. We will be on these radio stations that you see right now on your screen. We will also be online through Facebook and our website, WPTV.com.